Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the show. Tonight we have a good one here. It is race number 3 of the 802 Winston Cup Series here at Auto Club Speedway. I am Brett the Jet in the booth with Turn 3 Racing Network, and it's going to be a great show here. As here tonight we have 25 cars ready to do battle for 100 laps around this place. And of course, we got to kick things off in our normal way here. That, of course, coming here with qualifying. So we will see who will walk away with the Riptide Radio Pole Award here tonight as we get some cars here getting ready to head out to the racetrack. One of the first cars to do so here is the 36 machine. This is Mike Pardusky. Last week, Mike not having the race he probably hoped for. Started in the 7th position, finished though 17th with not completing, I would say, half the laps there. So he's hoping to turn things on around here tonight at Auto Club. We'll see where he can go. Like I said last week, qualified inside the top 10. We'll see what the 36 machine can do as he goes on the clock here at Auto Club. Through turns 1 and 2, running the bottom side. Interesting. I wouldn't be surprised to see some cars ripping the fence in 1 and 2 just to keep that momentum up. But when it comes down to here to this end of the racetrack, here in 3 and 4, it seems like it is always the way to go down to this bottom side. Try and wrap that car as long as you can along that white line there. And, you know, the lower exit you can get off of turn number 4, usually the better lap time, because then you're not scrubbing speed with kind of putting in some wheel as you get up and close to the wall. As it looks like lap number 1 for the 36 machine will be good enough for a 39.63. As we'll get some more times rolling on in right now. Frank Zingen with the quick time here so far with a 39.49 from the 62. Times rolling on in so far. 15 drivers completing a lap. Every single driver out on track here for at least at a moment, as we will continue to get times flying on in. We'll see if the 36 machine can pick up time. Lap number 2, he will cross the stripe and will not improve a 39.75 for lap number 2 for Mike Pardusky. So not going to be able to improve their lap number 2. We'll keep an eye here on some other drivers here to take a lap. So far, 21 cars have taken a lap time here tonight. We currently look here at the 2 machine of Nick Larson. Larson on his first time lap currently, so not up on the board yet, but by the time he gets to the start finish line, he will do that. As wow, Anthony Calatoni to the top of the board in the 10 machine. I believe his first ever 802 start, and he may walk away with that quick time with Riptide Radio, as Nick Larson lap number 1, 39.77 for the 2 machine. So that will slot him into P number 13. We'll see if Larson can improve here on lap number 2. Ron Hollyfield able to put down a 39.96 for lap number 1 for the 25 machine. We will see if anyone else, I believe only 2 cars left out on track, is this 2 and that 25. So Larson comes across the stripe for the final time here in qualifying. He does improve to P number 11 with a 39.72. Looks like Hollyfield gonna stay at P21. And I think only 2 cars yet to take a time. But it looks like those 2 cars still not making the call here. So going to cut it really, really close on time. May run out of time. But it looks like here tonight, the 10 machine, I believe in his first ever start. Let me triple check this just so I can be 100% sure. But As yeah, first ever start for this 10 car, and he will walk away with the Riptide Radio Pole Award here tonight at Auto Club. A great lap there from the 10, a 39.45, and he will be leading the field to the green flag here in just a few short moments. So once again, congrats to the 10 of Anthony Calatoni there with the Riptide Radio Pole Award here tonight, as we get ready to head down trackside and go through tonight's starting lineup for the SoCal Showdown 200 here at Auto Club Speedway. So here we go. Hopefully everyone's pumped on up because we got 100 laps of action-packed racing. And let's go through tonight's starting lineup to see where your favorite driver will start. Anthony Calatoni will lead the field to the green flag in that 10 machine. He goes 1 for 1 on pole awards. Can he go 1 for 1 with checkered flags? We'll find out in 100 laps. Tis outside the 62 machine of Frank Zingen. Zingen here looking for some good consistency here to kick off this season. Was able to finish in the top 10 last week at the Rock. Let's see if he can continue that here tonight. As rolling off P number 3 is the 23 machine. That is Joe Hudson up on the podium from Daytona, looking to return up there as well. Kip Easley in the 8 car will roll off P number 4. Kip seems like has been a factor in most of these races, has come up just short here towards the end of them. Tonight, that could change. Starting in 5th will be the 4 car. That is Jim Ott. Rolling off 6 will be the 21 machine of Rob Lowell. Mike Perdusky in the 36 machine. He will start P number 7. In 8th place, going to the 48 of Brandon Finley. Starting in 9th is John Higman in the 60 machine, and Johnny Barker in the 6 will round out the top 10. Starting in 11th will be the 2 car of Nick Larson. Rolling off 12th will be the 97. That is Jeff Pogo. Joey Gattina in the 14 machine will roll off 13th. Cody Brewer in the 12 will start P number 14. Tanner Roy in the 69 will roll off 15th, 16th, going to Dan Holcroft in the 88. Steve Ritter in the 61 will start 17th, 18th, going to Brandon Guerin in the 1. Eli Raposa in the 46 will start 19th, and Cody Meadows in the 19 will start P number 20. So Meadows gonna start deep in the field here tonight, as I think, let me double check, I think him and Jeff Pogo, yes, come in tied in points. Excuse me, actually Pogo with the point lead over Meadows, so Meadows gonna have a long way to go here in this race. Ron Holyfield in the 25 will start 21st. 22nd going to Dustin Coggin in the 44. Reba Kane in the 30 machine will start 23rd. 24th going to John Buell in the 47. And then starting shotgun on the field here tonight as a 17 car. That is Chris Broger. He will start and round out the field back there in 25th. So here we go. We get ready for green flag racing here at Auto Club. Such a shame that they tore this racetrack on down, as it looks like everyone maybe not quite ready. As it looks like the 25 machine's slow on the speedway. So that will, I think, draw the delay on the start here. So we will do one more pace lap and get things all righted and sorted and get ready to turn them back green here in just a few moments. So still very, very early in the season, but the top 15 is where you want to be when it comes to playoff time, because That is where the cutoff line is from the regular season into the playoffs. Top 15 in points look like the following: Jeff Pogo, then it is Cody Meadows, Joe Hudson, Kip Easley, Steve Ritter. Rounding out the top 5, Frank Zingen, Rob Lowell, Eli Raposa, Matthew Johnson, Jim Ott. Rounding out the top 10, then Jason Wiley, Brandon Finley, Johnny Barker, Kenny Reel, and Tanner Wright. So that would round out the top 15 in points. So quite a few of those drivers not here tonight. So we could have a very big shakeup in the points, because outside of that top 15, Brandon Guerin, Dan Holcroft, Mike Pardusky, Nick Larson, Greg Dreiss, all right there as well. So still very, very early, but still every race and every position matters, as here we go here at Auto Club. The iRacing pace car down on pit road. Now the field will wait till the green here, and we will fire on off and go green flag racing here for the SoCal Showdown 200 at Auto Club. The field up through the gears, flying into turn number 1, and that is one of the coolest things here at Auto Club. A very, very wide racetrack. We'll see cars fan out 3, 4, 5 wide to try and get some clean air on the nose of the race cars when they get in the corner. But down these long straightaways, you'll see them tuck back in behind each other, get some of that draft. As Anthony gonna be able to lead lap number 1 here tonight. He will lead the field as everyone else trying to chase down that number 10. And so far, starting to stretch out that race lead just a little bit. About 3 car lengths here to the 10 to then the 62. Kip Easley has picked up a spot here early in that Nitro number 8 machine. He is up to P number 3, then right behind them, Brandon Finley and Joe Hudson do battle for P number 4. It looks like Brandon Finley there in the 48 machine will take over P number 4. Finley had enough of a run there, able to get around Kip Easley into turn number 1. So this 48 machine trying to go to the front here in a hurry, and right now doing just that. Now up to P number 3. Further on back here, a cluster of cars all right on top of each other. We see our points leader here in that black and gold 97. One car a little bit sideways. That was Jim Ott. Now Jeff Pogo off the pace. Oh, Pogo hard into the outside wall. Wow, so the first caution coming out here tonight here early on lap number 4. And it looks like involving our points leader. A tough break here for Pogo, as we will take a look, see what happened. That 97 car, they're already off the pace down on the apron. And then it looks like, man, that car just snaps around right, and a huge impact to that outside wall for Pogo. Wow. We don't see too many mistakes like that there from the 97, but that we see there as, oh, that's what kind of kicked it on off a little bit. You see Steve Ritter get into the back of Jim Ott. That sends that car sideways. Pogo then reacting to the smoke, gets that car out of sorts, goes to save it, gets it up on the grass. And I think with those left sides on the grass, maybe tries to throttle on up, and that car, you can kind of see it unloads, kind of squats down on that left side, and when it does that, it takes off hard to the right, and then a big time impact to that outside wall. We'll watch it one more time at full speed just to see how quickly it happens. And oh, I don't know if Pogo ever got that car underneath him. You kind of saw it there, kind of shaking back and forth just a little bit. And these next gen cars, man, they are so unforgiving when it comes to getting these cars sideways. So not the night that Jeff Pogo wanted here. Was able to pick up the win last week at the Rock. will not have a chance to go 2 in a row here. As interesting, we see quite a few drivers, about half the field down on pit road. We'll take a look here, see what kind of service times they have, and it looks like maybe just fuel only. So some drivers here are already thinking about the fuel and the fuel strategy. So quite a few cars, I want to say about half the field, coming on down pit road to top on off. So that will leave now the 62 machine of Frank Zingen. Zingen will take over the race lead here. As we are under our first caution flag here of the evening for just a 1-car incident off of turn number 4. As I believe this time by we should get the choose as well as doubling up the rest of the field. So we will see where that 62 machine will choose, and it looks like he will choose the high side here at the very last second. So that'll put Brandon Finley in that 48 machine on the inside of the front row, as the rest of the field gonna re-rack, restack, and we get ready for our first restart of the evening here at Auto Club. Alrighty, so the front row will be Zingen and Finley getting ready to lead the field back to green flag. 25 cars on the premise here. Now down to, I think, 23 cars still out on the racetrack here. So still a good amount of cars here. Still a healthy looking field as we get ready for the first restart of the evening. Frank Zingen in that 62 car gonna have control of the race here once that iRacing pace car heads down pit road. It will do so right now. And here we go. We get ready to head back to green flag racing here at Auto Club. That outside lane getting a great jump on the field. Here comes now the 21 machine of Rob Lowell. We'll try and get P number 2 away from the 48. 48 going to try and drive it down all the way to the inside lane. The 21 going to try and get things wound on up in lane number 2. Down the backstretch, the field will come and give the advantage to the GStone 21 machine. Almost able to get clear there of the 48. Couldn't quite do it there. How do they get off of turn number 2? That was close. Finley got tight. That car started taking off from underneath him. I think he had to lift there, and that gives Rob Lowe P number 2 as he might try and get some more. As here comes now Finley. He actually got a decent run down the front straightaway. 3 wide for the race lead. Rob Lowe, though, keeping that momentum rocking and rolling to the high side of the Speedway. Now gonna try and take over this race lead here. He has about a half a car advantage there over the 62. And off of turn number 4, it's gonna be a drag race to the stripe. But give the advantage to the 21. So Rob Lowe will pick up a bonus point here tonight with leading that lap. Through 1 and 2, he's going to be able to get clear now single file for about the top 5 as we see that orange number 2 machine of Nick Larson. He will jump out of line, try and go around the 8 car of Kip Easley. Biggest mover of the race so far is this blue, white, and black 19 machine, Cody Meadows. Just as I say that, I curse him. because he goes on around. I was just about to say Cody Meadows up 13 positions, but right as the camera goes to him there, that car gets a little bit loose and around he goes. As it looks like no harm, no foul really, as no one collected in that, just a spin there. As we'll slow that on down just a little bit to kind of see what started it, but there are some bad bumps here in 3 and 4, and you'll see this car start hopping a little bit. That's what gets that car initially sideways, and luckily Meadows quickly yanking the wheel to the left, keep it from overcorrecting up to that outside wall and into traffic. So Meadows doing a great job at looping that car out of harm's way there. So he'll rejoin the race back in 23rd, back in dead last, but that could have been a lot worse for the 19. He can live on to fight another day here. So maybe a few laps less than what we had before, so going to be interesting to see who comes down pit road, and it looks like quite a few cars once again going to come on down pit road and probably top off with some of that virtual race fuel here tonight. As it looks like only about 6 cars still out on the racetrack. Everyone else down on pit road. We'll keep the camera down on pit road, see who wins that race. As Kip Easley with a pretty quick stop, he'll be the first off. Then it is the 10 car, then the 88, the 12, and the 61. The first 5 cars off of pit road here, and once again just a splash and go for all the cars down on pit road. So about 5 cars have yet to be down on pit road, and that's our current top 5. Our race leader Rob Lowe, second Frank Zing and Brandon Finley, third Nick Larson, fourth, and Jim Ott. Those 5 cars have yet to visit pit road here so far. So I believe this time by at the stripe, the 21 machine can choose high or low. We'll see what lane he decides to go on with. Looks like he would choose the outside lane here. I'll put Frank Zing into the inside of the front row, as the rest of the field gonna double them on up as we get ready to turn them on loose here for the second restart of the night. As we have started the race here tonight at Auto Club with 2 quick cautions here in the early portions of this race. But the one good news, they have both been single car incidents. So I think if we get everything rocking and rolling, I think we could very well have a very long run here at Auto Club. So we'll have to see if this time will be the charm for these 802 Winston Cup Series drivers. Once again, like I said, lights are out here on the iRacing pace cars, so we are going green this time by, as it's going to be Rob Lowell. Frank Zingen on the front row here for restart number 2. That 21 machine going to be in control there of Lowell. As the iRacing pace car heads down pit road, and we will see when Rob will fire on off. We'll get a pretty decent start there. Once again, that second lane having some really good restarts, as now Nick Larson will slot into P number 2. Frank Zingen going to try and hang on to third here as he very close to getting swallowed up from both lanes, as once again Brandon Finley still trying to make that inside lane work. Man, him and Finley there and almost make contact there down the back straightaway. That was very, very close between the 48 and the 8. Excuse me, the 48 and the 4. As that 8 car, so far the highest running car, looking the best on fuel, is Kip Easley in P number 7 here. As things kind of calming on down here towards the front of the pack. Easley now looking to get around Pardusky. That will be a battle for the 6th position as they'll drag race down the back straightaway. Easley will be able to clear the 36. And now Easley will set his sights once again on this top 5. Pardusky, though, not going down without a fight. He'll look to the inside of the 8 car. By the time they get to turn number 1, can't quite make anything of it by the time they get to the exit there. Further on back, some good battles here between quite a few cars. John Higman here in this 60 kinetic machine. I tell you what, that paint scheme right there, pretty good looking paint scheme. That thing definitely stands out on the broadcast here. Higman currently running in the 12th position. Currently trying to get around the 14 of Joey Gattana. Cody Meadows, the most recent caution coming out for this 19 car spinning there off of turn number 4. Meadows back inside the top 20. He is up to 17th and trying to get around Brandon Guerin in that 1 car for 16th out here on the Speedway. Out in front though, Rob Lowell trying to check on out. He is our race leader and now about a half a second advantage over his teammate of Nick Larson. So the biggest lead we have seen so far here tonight, as that GStone Motorsports 21 trying to run away and hide. Nick Larson currently running in the 2nd position. Right now, he is our biggest mover so far of the night. We watched it live there in qualifying. Larson able to qualify 11th here up to P number 2. Brandon Finley looking for his best career finish. He is running in the 3rd position. Frank Zingen looking to continue a top 10 run. Top 10 last week at the Rock. It's in a really good spot here. And then Kip Easley, he's right there in the mix. It seems like every week, I'm sure one of these weeks, a win will fall in the lap there of the 8 car. And I'm sure there'll be quite a few times we'll be talking to this 8 car in those post-race interviews. As the field's starting to get more and more spread on out here tonight, we see that battle for, now it's going to be 15th position as Cody Meadows looking to that inside of the 1 car, Brandon Guerin. Side by side through turns 1 and 2, those 2 will go. Meadows will try and slide on up, clear himself. Couldn't quite. Yeah, actually he does do it. I think Brandon Guerin may have got a piece of the wall there off of turn number 2. That maybe was what allowed Cody Meadows to get on by. As right in front of Meadows though, an intense battle between quite a few cars. As Steve Ritter, Dan Holcroft, Johnny Barker all on top of each other here. Holcroft will sail it on in there into turn number 1. Will be able to get around the 61. Now here comes Ritter with the crossover move. Ritter going to try and get back that position there from the 88. As Johnny Barker sits right behind them as well. as that front pack starting to check on out here from ninth on back. So these guys got to be careful. Can't afford to fight too much. Oh, it's Ritter sideways off of turn number 4. Steve Ritter will get a piece of pit road, maybe. He will come to a stop here at the start, just before the start finish line, and that will bring out our third caution flag of the evening, as we're taking a look there at that great battle between those cars. It looks like Steve Ritter maybe just losing the back end of that 61 over the bumps. Let's see if we go back a little bit more. No. As that's already a little bit not at the right spot here. So, oh, now we go way too far back. So maybe eventually I'll find a good spot here. I wanted to take a look, see if this 61 machine bounces a little bit in the rear end. It actually kind of doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like that thing bounced over those bumps and then broke traction. Looks like just broke traction, maybe with a little bit too much throttle input. But the real question is going to be, did the 61 get a penalty for unsafe pit road entry here, with him just clipping the cone there with the left rear? It's going to be very close, but if he does have a penalty, he's going to have to serve that 1 under green flag, and then 2, most likely going to probably put that 61 machine a lap down. So with us just before the quarter way mark here tonight, I believe this time we'll see a lot of cars and pretty much the whole field down on pit road. I think at this point, with 3 sets of tires over the wall, I think you got to at least take one of them here. But we will find out here as, oh, look at that. We do get some strategy being played. Kip Easley, Dan Holcroft going to stay on out. And the 17 machine of Chris Proger going to stay on out as well. Everyone else, though, down on pit road. It's going to be a busy pit road here under our third caution. So a mixed strategy down on pit road. Some cars taking 4 tires. Some cars just taking fuel once again. Looks like the first car to take tires off of pit road is going to be the 48 machine of Brandon Finley. So we will have to keep an eye there on the 48. See what kind of lap time. See how he can slice his dice his way through the field here. Well, with us under our third caution flag of the evening, we'll throw it over to a quick commercial break with our partners over at Premier Setup Shops. So choosing that time at the stripe, looks like the 8 car of Kip Easley going to choose this inside lane here. So that'll put Dan Holcroft on the outside of the front row. As the rest of the field going to re-rack, restack, and we get ready for our third restart of the evening here, about the quarter way mark through tonight's racing events here. And probably the most impressive thing here tonight, all 3 cautions have been single car incidents we haven't really wadded up too many, I don't think really any race cars here. Looks like the only one done and out of the race here tonight is the 97 machine of Jeff Pogo. As here we go, front row going to be Easley and Holcroft. As here we go, the iRacing Mustang pace car going to make the hard left-hand turn down on pit road, and Kip Easley going to be in control here of the restart. As we wait for the A car, he will fire on off, and we head back to green flag racing here for the SoCal Showdown. Looks like Easley and the 17 machine both will be able to get clear. Those two going to be on their own for a little bit. Like I said, we got to keep an eye on that white and red 48 machine. One car out of sorts. They are wrecking down the back straightaway. Johnny Barker involved. Same with the 60 machine of John Higman. And it looks like the 14 machine may have kicked that on off here. Looks like he is stopped against the inside wall. Getting a look. Have a little bit of left front damage there to that left front quarter panel, as we will take a look, see what happened down the back straightaway to put us under our fourth caution here of the evening. So we take a look here. The 14 gets into the side of the 69. Then he's kind of along for the ride at that point. We'll try and save that race car. Will bounce against Johnny Barker. That involved Higman there. Wow, Cody Brewer just able to squeak on by there in that gray number 12 machine. Then I'm not sure if we got an incident later on, because I thought I saw some smoke later on. And oh, it looks like here we go. Johnny Barker coming back across, and Reba Caton gonna get a piece there of the 6 machine. As I think that's really the only few cars. As no, it looks like Ron Holyfield as well sideways there in the 25. So let's see what happened to Holyfield here. Try and ride on board with the 25 as he's able to get through it. And oh, and then just the evasive maneuver with kind of loading up that left side was enough to get that car out of sorts. Luckily, not hitting anything there. So that 25 car, another car gonna live to fight another day here. But our first multi-car incident here coming out on lap 25. As you know what, let's see if we can get a word with our race leader currently. Let's see if Kip Easley here has a copy. We'll try and get a few moments with our current race leader here. Hey Kip, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yes sir, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. I see you queuing up in iRacing and not Discord.
Oh, here, sorry.
Oh, there we go.
I got a copy. Sorry, hit the wrong side.
No problem, man. I understand how it is with all the buttons on the wheel, but how we feel, my man, out here leading the way?
It feels pretty good. Like the track a lot, obviously, multiple grooves and things like that. We're gonna see if we can get a long run in there. You know, a lot of different strategies right now with everybody, pitting early, taking fuel. Some probably took tires, and it's kind of a mixed bag right now of when to go in and when not to go in, just because we haven't seen, a long green flag run yet. So I feel good about it right now, but I don't think I'm the fastest car out here, but hopefully with a little luck we can stay up here.
Yeah, and I tell you what, it seems like you're always kind of in the mix. Haven't had the kind of maybe the good luck on your side so far this season. here tonight, though. Anything could change. Sitting in the best spot, though, right now, leading the way, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel like we've had good cars and been right in the mix of it so far all season. You know, Daytona, we just got in that wreck right there at the end, and then last week I made a bad, made an error on my end, but we still bounced back to 7th. So hopefully we get another top 5, top 10 here, or even a win, and just kind of keep our momentum going for the season.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I think it's going to be only a matter of time where we'll be talking to you multiple times in the post-race show here, and I think tonight you have a pretty good shot at it here at Auto Club.
I hope so, and I appreciate the kind words, and I appreciate the broadcast, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, before we let you go and get ready to go back Green Flag Racing, anyone you want to give a shout-out to on the broadcast here?
I just got to give a shout-out to my family. Obviously, it takes time to do all this and practice and racing, and a couple nights a week, and the patience and everything like that. Put up with that says a lot. So, I just want to give them a shout-out.
All righty, awesome stuff. Well, Kip, good luck here as you lead the field back to Green Flag.
All right, thank you.
All righty, folks, that was our race leader, Kip Easley.
Daniel, thank you.
Jumping on board with him for a quick moment. Appreciate his time to chat with us as here we go. Kip Easley going to be in control here of the restart to his outside the 17 machine of Chris Berger. As Easley here on the loud pedal, and we go back to Green Flag Racing. And it looks like one of the more even starts, even though Easley down and away very nicely there in that A car. Further on back, quite a few cars side by side, so it should make it really interesting. But like I said, the really interesting car we got to keep an eye on is this red and white 48 machine. Brandon Finley, the driver, on new tires here, trying to make his way through the field. He's already up to P number 5 and looking for some more here. Tony now looking to the inside of that 48. Nick Larson up to the wall, to the outside in the 2 car as well. So like we've seen many a times and we'll continue to see here tonight, this field's fan on out each and every corner. As Easley trying to stretch out his race lead, trying to be one of the better ones we've seen tonight. As we still see that intense battle there between the 48 and that 10 car. Now it looks like Nick Larson finding some speed up in lane number 2, or maybe let's consider maybe lane number 10, that 2 car running against the wall. And he has found some good speed up there. He's back up to 5th. Nick Larson a little sideways there off of turn number 4, but able to keep the power down, not have to lift, and now keep that momentum rocking and rolling pretty nice for that 2 car here. Further on back, we see now the 12 machine of Cody Brewer had a close call during that last caution. He has driven his way back up through this field. Brewer into the top 10. He's up to 8th now down the back straightaway. So that Neon 17 machine on some of the oldest tires there. One car very sideways. That was a 10 machine somehow able to keep that car underneath him. Just about to say that. 2 guys that were battling for about 15th before, now inside the top 10. Cody Meadows in this 19 machine. He is back up into 8th. And then Brandon Guerin, he's up into the top 10 here in that 1 car. So we have already seen quite a few movers and shakers here tonight. And I think that's not going to slow down here at the moment. As out in front, things starting to calm on down inside the top 10 here. as Brandon Guerin gets some pressure put in on him by the 36 machine of Mike Pardusky. Pardusky gonna try and sail that car in on that bottom side, slide up in front of the one. He will do just that. What can Guerin do for the crossover down the back straightaway? Up in front of them though, battle for P number 2 here as Dan Holcroft holding his own up here with that alternate strategy call. Now here comes Frank Zingen to try and get back around. Quite a few cars there dancing right against the knife's edge of that wall there off of turn number 4. A few cars may have just maybe scraped a few decals off their car, but looks like no car with any sort of heavy damage, so no harm, no foul. But that's about the limit you want to push it to getting those cars as close as you do there. As still side by side for that second position, they gotta be careful because now Nick Larson right on top of them as well. And here comes the 48 machine of Brandon Finley. Finley able to just close the door on the 10 car. Man, that if that wasn't contact there, that had to be inches apart from each other. And if there's one guy that is loving to see this battle behind him, that is our race leader, Kip Easley, that says, hey guys, you guys go race each other hard, burn your stuff up. I would love to sit out here on a Sunday drive out in front. As now second place battle still not done and over it. As here comes now Nick Larson up to P number 2. So Larson able to get that spot from the 62. Now Zingen in that 62, gonna have to be careful because he has some fresh tires right behind him. Brandon Finley on fresh tires. Anthony Calatoni right there on fresh tires, and same with this gray 12 car of Cody Brewer. All three of those on some fresh rubber. It's going to be really interesting to see what they can do with that, as Larson has ran down our race leader. Nick Larson looks for the race lead here through 3 and 4. Man, oh man, some great racing here already, and still more to come. As here to the stripe, it looks like Easley will lead at the stripe, but Nick Larson has a chance to pull the slider down here in 1 and 2. Looks like that 2 car though not going to drive it in there deep here just yet. Those two going to stay side by side here off of turn number 2. Now Brandon Finley, he is in the mix. Finley looks like he will try and get P number 2 away from Larson. He will do that down the back straightaway. Brandon Finley up to P number 2 with those fresh rubber. What can he do from here? Has to get around one more car. As I say, let's ride on board with our race leader, looking back at this field, and just to see the amount of runs that these cars can get, how these cars can close in on each other, and kind of the different lines that these cars will take to make sure they get some fresh air on the nose through the corner to get that downforce. But yet, when it comes to that straightaway, try and get as much draft as they can. As you heard easily there, get a little loose. You heard that tire spin. And that is allowed now Finley to get side by side. And there is the 10 car that led the field to the green flag right on the back bumper of the 8. Here we go, 3 wide for a split second for the race lead here. But off of turn number 2, new race leader Brandon Finley out in front. Anthony Calatoni up to P number 2. Man, oh man, some great runs there by the 10 car. Does he have enough power to get back to the race lead by the stripe? Yes, he does. Calatoni back to the race lead. He led the field to the green flag here on lap 40. He's able to get back to the front. I should say the completion of lap 40. Brandon Finley, though, not going to go down without a fight. He'll try and get that car rotated well on the bottom side, but just cannot get as good of a run off the corner there. So Calantoni going to try and check out from the rest of the field. Kip Easley now under fire from the 19 machine of Cody Meadows. Meadows, another one of those drivers that did take tires under that last pit stop. Now, those guys that did take tires, they want to see this race go green to the end because they already have that tire advantage. So if they can run it out of fuel, they'll sit in a really good spot, as the drivers on older tires will continue to lose, pace compared to the cars on the better tires. As we once again see a battle for the second and now third position here, as Cody Brewer able to get to the outside of Nick Larson for P number 3, but not able to keep the nose to the right rear quarter panel there down this front straightaway. As we see Brewer right against the fence. Let's ride on board with the 12 machine and see what he is seeing as he tries to work around the 2 machine of Nick Larson. As now here comes Cody Meadows to his inside. We saw Meadows for a split second at the left rear. What can Meadows do here through 3 and 4? Once again, we see Brewer running this high lane here. I always thought when it came to Auto Club, that is kind of the preferred lane to keep your momentum, keep the speeds on up. And then 3 and 4, of course, going back to that bottom side. As we see the 12 car staying right in the draft there. We'll look to the outside of Larson here through 3 and 4. Able to get on the throttle a little bit earlier. Here comes Cody Brewer to the outside of Nick Larson here down the front straightaway. So we start to get ever so closer to the halfway point here tonight. Front 2 starting to run away from it just a little bit with that tire advantage. Then Cody Brewer currently in 3rd, Nick Larson 4th, Cody Meadows 5th. Then the rest of this field are mostly drivers that did not take tires here. So if I had to guess, these guys will be some of the first down on pit road. The likes of Frank Zingen, Rob Lowell, Jim Ott, Eli Raposa should be some of the first few cars down on pit road. As Raposa here, 46 machine in the time and scoring, 23 on the car here tonight, so maybe a little confusion there, but Raposa currently sitting in the top 10 here, up 9 spots from where he started. He's in that kind of highlighter neon green 23 machine. As most everyone here spreading on out as tires continue to wear on away at a very high wear racetrack, Auto Club Speedway, old surface out here. I mean, you'll hear me say it a couple more times before this race is over tonight. Such a shame that this track got tore on down for what it is, and I just have fingers crossed that we'll one day see racing action here. But as we do see some cars here down on pit road, kind of on the earlier side of things, Kip Easley, Chris Proger, as well as Tanner White, all have visited pit road, and I think the 88 machine as well, Dan Holcroft. So some early pitters here. Should be interesting to see how it all shakes on out. As the front 2 here, about 3/4 of a second advantage there over P number 3. As further on back, some big time moves being made. Jim Ott trying to get up to P number 8. As they went 3 wide there into turn number 1, and Jim Ott turning up the wick here into this longer run here. That 4 car looking pretty good here. He's up to P number 8, able to get around the 21 machine of Rob Lowell. Right behind them, Brandon Guerin trying to get on the move, trying to get around that 14 machine. Right behind them, the 25 of Ron Holyfield. Holyfield, of course, spun during that last caution, didn't hit anything, so that car still looks very good for that 25, so he's right there in the mix as well. As here we go, we hear some more calls for some more drivers to head down pit road. This time it is the 44 of Dustin Coggin. Same with the 62 machine of Frank Zingen. So quite a few cars here starting to get into the thick of green flag pit stops. The question is, if you're the 10 and the 48, how long do you stay out on track? Because as these cars start to come down early, they flip that tire strategy. They will have the speed, the momentum, the lap times. As I think this time by, we hear the pit call, the hand wave out the window for the 21. But here at the stripe, Anthony Calatoni led the field to the green flag. He's leading the way here at the cross flags. Halfway down, halfway home here in race number 3 of the 802 Winston Cup Series. Looks like two teammates down on pit road together, Rob Lowell and Johnny Barker. As most of the field here spread on out, we see now the 2 machine of Nick Larson diving down to pit road this time by, so Larson will give up P number 5, lock up some rear brake there. I believe got it wound up enough to not get a penalty on pit road, because there's a few things that you can't afford, of course, destroying your race car, but a pit road penalty during a green flag cycle could take you out, you know, from the race lead all the way to about 20th position, because you have to come back down pit road, and with that, you automatically lose at least another lap here at Auto Club. So we see some more cars heading down to pit road here. Mike Pardusky down, Eli Raposa as well. So our race leaders still out on track, still ripping some pace. And I tell you what, Cody Meadows, he has found some really good long run pace here tonight. Meadows has started to track down our race leader, so let's ride on board with the 19 here, see what he is doing, because these last couple lap times, a 40.24, very good from the 19, as we see Brandon Finley from second coming on down pit road. And you can hear Cody Meadows there, nice and easy through 1 and 2. Just trying to make that car turn where he wants to go, keep it underneath him. And I think Cody Meadows this time by going to be coming down to pit road. Same with our race leader. So riding on board, seeing what it takes to head down pit road and get these things wound up to that 50-mile-an-hour mark. It is tough to do here, and Meadows able to do it right there as well. So with first and second pin there, looks like the 14 machine will take over the race lead. So Joey Gattina out in front here tonight. Looks like it's pretty much only him, Steve Ritter, and Joe Hudson that have yet to come down pit road. So we will have to see how long these drivers decide to stay on out, because at this point, with everyone else coming on down, you are just hoping for a caution flag so that you can cycle out with this race lead here, as we see Steve Ritter from P number 2 dive down pit road as well. So that only leaves then 2 cars yet to complete their first cycle of green flag pit stops here. That being the 14 machine as well as this 23. And it looks like when things all cycle on out, Brandon Finley gonna have the advantage there with pitting a lap earlier there in the 48. Looks like Finley here this time by may have a shot to unlap himself the hard way. He's got to be careful. He has Cody Meadows here right behind him and that 10 car right there as well. So all 3 of those cars able to exit pit road, very, very similar to each other. As it looks like Joey Gattina gonna get to the bottom side here nice and early, make that obviously that this 14 coming on in this time by. So our race leader heading down pit road here. So with Joey down on pit road, it looks like Joe Hudson gonna stay on out on the racing surface. So Joe Hudson will pick up a bonus point here tonight with a lap led here in the middle of green flag pit stops. Out in front, though, when that 23 machine decides to come on down pit road, it will be Brandon Finley taking over the point. Cody Meadows about half a second back there from that 48. Then behind him, Anthony Calatoni in what will be P number 3 here. Jim Ott has jumped up to P number 4, and Nick Larson, right with that move, will take over 5th when it's all said and done. As maybe not, because Rob Lowell was able to get that 5th spot away from the 2 cars. So all these cars here racing for position, each and every one of them. As we see our race leader, Joe Hudson, down on pit road here. So it is going to be, I should say, that should complete our first round of green flag pit stops. So most cars able to do about 30 laps. So then that'll put things right around lap 80, 75, 80 to have our, what could be our final pit stops of the evening. As Brandon Finley out in front, once again, our race leader here. As it looks like the 10 car able to get back to P number 2. Meadows in the 19 will fall back to 3rd. And we know this 10 car has good short run pace. Was able to walk away with the Riptide Radio Pole Award here tonight. Can he run down that 48? And then we know Cody Meadows, he can figure things out on a long run here. So he might say, you know what, boys, you guys go burn up your stuff. I'm going to go ride and run my pace here, and I'll be there at the end when it's time to pull these cars back down on pit road. We got some cars here getting closer to each other on the racing surface, and I think now with about 40 laps to go left in this one, I say let's have the cars do a little talking. Let's do a little turn 3, turn it up here at Auto Club. I tell you what, folks, that speed shot there, man, can give you a sense of speed of how fast these cars are going around this racetrack here tonight at Auto Club. I mean, we see speeds of over 195 miles an hour here, so these cars absolutely ripping around this 2-mile racetrack. During that turn 3 turning up, we had quite a few cars here battling for position. Mike Pardusky able to get back into the top 10 here in the 36. He's up to P number 9 here as Chris Proger and Kip Easley doing battle. Then a little bit behind them, Brandon Guerin get around the 44 machine of Dustin Coggin. Coggin, one of the first cars down on pit road here. And I think his tires may be starting to feel the price a little bit on this 44 here. And then even behind them here, some cars that pitted super late here, trying to pick up some positions here. Joe Hudson up back to P number 15 as him and Eli Raposa able to get around Johnny Barker. But we head back up to this 3-car battle here for 9th, 10th, and 11th. One of the best battles here on the Speedway. As don't look now, but Calantoni has started to run down Finley a little bit for that race lead, so that might be a point we have to keep an eye on here. But that 10 car still looking very sporty as we approach our about a third remaining of this race here tonight at Auto Club. Rob Lowell starting to feel some pressure here once again from the 2 car of Nick Larson. Larson knows it might be go time because Cody Brewer has started to run down those 2 as well. So this could very easily once again develop into a 3-car battle here for 5th, 6th, and 7th. As we see Jim Ott there in that blue number 4 machine running that middle lane. Same with that yellow and white 21. That orange car, the 88 Dan Holcroft. A lap down here. I think Holcroft had a penalty coming to pit road. Same with him and Steve Ritter. So that's why they sit all the way back in 21st and 22nd. So like I said, a pit road penalty can really derail your night, as those 2 drivers experiencing that here and sitting back in 21st and 22nd, multiple laps down. Rob Lowe so far able to hang on to that spot. Let's ride on board looking on back to Nick Larson and Cody Brewer here at Auto Club. And you can hear there some shifting here from the 21 machine. Not sure if it's an iRacing sound glitch. I know that tends to be a thing, but that definitely sounded like that 21 machine was shifting there. As Rob able to drive away from Nick Larson a little bit there, give himself some breathing room, as everyone very much spread on out with about 30 laps to go. And this race is far from over because we have, I believe, one more pit stop here tonight at Auto Club. Most of these drivers probably going to try and get to right around lap 75 to 80, then come on down for maybe their final stop of the evening. But out in front, Brandon Finley believe looking for his first ever 802 win. Yes, he is. Making his first ever season this season, and what a way it would be to pick up a win early on this season. As coming into tonight, the 48 car sits 12th and points. A win here would definitely catapult him probably almost to the top 5 in points. As, man, we are again down to the end of it. Our first taker down on pit road. It is going to be Kip Easley here in the 8 car. Will come down here on lap 72 and will be the first of green flag pit stops. The final time here that 8 car could be down on pit road. Now everyone else gonna start to say when is the right time to come on down. This time by, we hear the 17 machine making the same call. He says we are coming down here this time on by. So we see the 17 machine get that car woed up to pit road speed there. A little bit of tire smoke, a little bit of lockup, but looks like no harm, no foul there. As most everyone else pitted between lap 50 and I want to say like 57. So 20 laps added to those. We could see cars anywhere down from 75 to maybe even 85 if drivers want to do that. As here we go, Cody Meadows down on pit road. Same with Frank Zingen, Mike Pardusky, Dustin Coggins. So 4 cars down on pit road here on 74. These guys say, hey, we want to eat away at some advantage to the cars in front. We know we can make it on fuel. Let's try and eat away a little bit at that, get the tire advantage, and hope that's enough to then kind of aero block and play with the air by the time if cars do run us on down. So here at the stripe for our race leader here in the 48 of Brandon Finley. He's out in front here on lap 75. Next time by, we will go into the countdown clock, and next time by will be 25 circuits left here at Auto Club. Brandon Guerin, it looks like the only car here down on pit road here on 75. So it looks like it'll probably be a pretty good mad dash for about 10 cars left to see who is the first to come on down pit road. It's going to be a really interesting call because we saw Finley get the advantage last time by pitting a lap early. Now this time it's going to be reversed as Calatoni down on pit road. Now Brandon Finley with 25 to go. He has to come on down this time by in pit road. Can't afford to give up any more time than he is right now out on track. As it looks like Jim Ott still on still out on track, excuse me. Rob Lowell, Nick Larson, Cody Brewer, Joe Hudson, and Ron Holyfield have yet to come down as well. So here we go. We see the 48 cars starting to woe on up, and our race leader, Brandon Finley, gonna come on down pit road this time by. Cannot afford a penalty here. Cannot afford to speed on pit road nor slide through the box. It looks like Rob Lowell down. Same with his teammate Nick Larson as well. So with all those cars coming on down, Jim Ott will take over the race lead. So Ott will at least pick up 1 bonus point here tonight with a lap led. As we see the 10 car here just rolling off of pit road. It's going to be very close between the 10 and the 19 of Cody Meadows. Meadows already done and away on pit road, so can he run down the 10? That is quite a bit in front. Jim Ott gonna not be able to head down pit road. Had the 10 car to his inside there through 3 and 4, so Ott will stay out yet another lap here. As 3 cars have yet to come down pit road. That is Jim Ott, our race leader, Cody Brewer in this gray number 12 machine. And then Joe Hudson, he was the one that stretched it out the longest last time here in the 23. He made it to lap 58. Let's see how long he can go here tonight in this second round of green flag pit stops. This time by Ott seems to be slowing on down. Yes, he is. He is heading down to pit road. So our race leader, the 4 car, coming on down this time by. Looks like nice and safely down on pit road. Same with the 12 car of Cody Brewer. Now it is Joe Hudson, the lone car that has yet to come down pit road. So at this point, Hudson is hoping that they get a caution flag here and he can cycle out with the race lead. And I tell you what, Brandon Finley did not have a good pit stop there. The 48 car down on pit road was in his box for 17.8 seconds, whereas Anthony Calatoni was down for 15.0. So he lost 2 seconds right about there. And if you see that gap between Finley and Calatoni, it's right around that 2 seconds mark. So this 48 car could maybe lose this race just on pit road if he cannot run down this 10 with 20 laps to go this time by. Joe Hudson still out on the racetrack here. Looks like quite a few cars here battling for position as Brandon Guerin trying to get around Mike Pardusky there in the 36. Looks like Guerin will be able to do that. So that moved Brandon Guerin back into the top 10 here once again, up into 9th. As I said, with this field kind of spread on out, especially where they're running, we'll throw up the track map on the right side of the screen. So it is correlated to your driver's car number here. So any car we're looking at will be highlighted green. Everything else, of course, we are looking for car numbers out on the speedway. Right now, Joe Hudson just going into turn number 3. Calatoni here just going into turn number 1 here. And he will be our race leader once Hudson heads down pit road here. Dustin Coggin here trying to put on a battle with the 8 and the 17. Coggin, of course, one of the cars after the 2 cars in front of him down on pit road. So Coggin has some fresher tires than the 8 and the 17, though he has yet to be able to get around either of them. Looks like the 25 machine of Ron Holyfield down on pit road as well. So he will make his final pit stop of the night. Up for third, though, battle for position, which will be second once that 23 comes on down pit road. Cody Meadows, Brandon Finley going at it here late in the race with now 18 to go here at the stripe. I think these guys know it's going to be a real tall order to run down the 10 machine, so these two are going to fight each other pretty hard for this position because this will probably be the best that either of them can finish when it's all said and done. So Meadows going to try and arrow block and do whatever he can to keep that 48 behind. And Brandon Finley probably driving a little bit, not the happiest camper, knowing that this race he could have won. Still has a chance, anything could happen, but if we don't get a caution, man, what a heartbreak it would be. As here we go, Finley to the inside of Meadows. They go side by side here, but Meadows gonna keep that momentum rocking and rolling, gonna be able to hang on to that spot. Joe Hudson still out here completing laps. How much more fuel does this 23 machine have? He's actually not too far off the pace either. Last time by, Hudson was able to do a 40.6, whereas the 10 car was able to do a 40.55. So Hudson, not too much off the pace. He could definitely do a splash and go, but even with a splash and go, he'll come out probably just outside of the top 10. As yeah, we got to talk to Joe here after the big Riptide 250 at Daytona to officially kick off the season. And I tell you what, this guy, a true race fan here, grew up all around it, was able to even jump in a NASCAR truck there for one race, accomplish the dreams of many of us that we have. And a great story there. And it sounds like he, as he gets into his older age, just looking to have some fun, get out here, do some racing. And right now he's out in front late with the race lead here. Right in front of our race leader, cars duking it on out. Dustin Coggin able to get around the 8 machine, now trying to complete the pass on the 17. Coggin had a great playoff push last season here. Oh, as heads up contact there. The 17 will get into the door of the 44. Somehow Coggin will save that race car, but that car heavily damaged there as wow. We'll see if he can get it back to pit road, but that car is looking broke right as Joe Hudson comes down pit road and we get the caution out on the speedway. That thing timed perfectly for the 23. Hudson will get his service done, and I think he may be our race leader because I think everyone else will come on down pit road to at least take a tire set here. So, man, oh man, drama here late in this one. Yeah, Kenny, definitely right there. Trouble. And Kenny, where are you at here tonight? I was reading off the points here, Kenny, and you're actually still in the top 15 in points, but I think that might change here after tonight. But you got to be within that top 15, especially for those playoffs, my man. So hopefully we'll see you a couple more times here this season, especially if you want to make that playoff push, because at least that's what I'd be looking at. As here we go. Whoa. That's a bummer, Kenny. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully you get feeling better here soon and can once again join us out on the racing surface. And wow, interesting call. The 10, the 48, the 19, and the 4 gonna stay on out. It looks like most of the rest of the field gonna come on down pit road. Man, if you had a set of tires, I think that was the time to use them there. So we'll see if those guys made their bet or if they got something up their sleeve. Like I said, with Joe Hudson, where he came on out, he will be sitting P number 7, the best car on fresh tires here for the 5th restart of the night. So let's take a look here, see what happened to Coggin, as yeah, already kind of damage there, so we'll try and get it a little bit later here. As already damaged once again. Here we go. There is the contact to the door number of the 44. Yeah, Coggin maybe had a little bit of space to the wall. A tough call there, but definitely the 44 machine ending up with the worst end of that damage. Then that right front broke on the car. That car just not going to turn. Head straight into the outside wall, keeps it up and out of the way. We'll lock it on down, but then with that car stopping, That, of course, bringing out the 5th caution here. And it's about to be wild. And Brandon Finley has the light at the end of the tunnel reignited. He still has a shot to pick up the win here. As here we go. Anthony Calatoni gonna have the choice of inside or outside. Looks like the 10 car will choose the inside lane here. So the rest of the field gonna re-rack, restack here for a 10-lap shootout here for the SoCal Showdown at Auto Club. Yeah, so it was a contact between, of course, we saw Dustin Coggins there against the wall, but it was the 17 machine of Chris Proger was the car that made the contact with the 44 there. But yeah, I totally agree with that, Kenny, there. I think tires definitely matter a lot here at Auto Club. I mean, a lot of tire wear here to begin with, especially with the speeds, but then this rough surface. And I mean, these guys were last down on lap 75, and with 10 laps to go, you know, that's already 15 laps on these tires. Unless they didn't have any more tires, I don't see how they could justify this call here. So, all right. So here we go. Joe Hudson, car we're going to have to keep an eye on here. This 23 machine, best car on tires as the iRacing pace car heads down on pit road. And we get ready to rock and roll. What a start by that inside lane. They will leave Brandon Finley sleeping at the line as we head to a 10-lap shootout. Cody Meadows up to P number 2 here, as everyone else gonna fan on out through 1 and 2. Joe Hudson already up to P number 5, so this 23 machine, he could have a shot at it when it's all said and done. Here comes Rob Lowell on new tires. Same with the 1 machine of Brandon Guerin as well. Out in front, Calatoni will lead the line here with single digits laps to go here. It is 9 to go here at the stripe. Calatoni, Meadows, Finley, and Hudson rounding out the top 5 here, but that is all going to change here in quite a few laps as we get 3 wide racing here. As Cody Brewer trying to stay to the outside of Rob Lowe, he'll get a piece of the wall. So that 12 car going to lose a little bit of momentum here down the back straightaway. Brandon Guerin now has the run on the 21. Those two go side by side, but it's got to be tough here between these two. As with new tires, yeah, you want to be the first car with those fresh tires, but if you spend too much time racing around these cars with new tires, you're going to slow yourself up and not allow you to get to those cars in front and to that race lead. And Rob Lowe will bounce it off the wall there through 1 and 2 here. These guys searching for every inch of racetrack here in the closing stages. Cody Meadows here keeping our race leader honest. Meadows within 2 car lengths of the race lead. And here comes Jim Ott. Out of this top 3, Ott sits the best on tires. About a 3-lap advantage for the 4 machine. So maybe if Ott took care of his tires there and just kind of rode on around, he has definitely a shot before it's all said and done. Ott will be one of the few cars there running this inside lane, able to get to the inside of Cody Meadows. Might be able to get a little bit of side draft further on back. 4 wide, now 3 wide here. As Kip Easley will dive it down to that inside white line. Nick Larson in the middle. Chris Proger up top there in that 17. Cody Brewer in the mix as well. They'll get things sorted on out a little bit more. At least only down to 2 wide here. As Rob Lowe trying to march his way through the field. as we get cars around and wrecking into turn number one. Brandon Guerin facing the wrong way here on the Speedway. I thought I saw maybe some other cars involved, but we will keep an eye here on Brandon Guerin, see what happened into turn number one. Here, let's slow it on down, try and get a different view. So we see Guerin and Cody Brewer side by side into turn number one. And let's see what happened between the two of them. Oh, it looks like Brandon Guerin, Cody Brewer just going to make contact there. That sends the 12 car around. Then Chris Proger just having nowhere to go will get stuffed against the outside fence. I think that will be some heavy damage to the one car. So Brandon Guerin, he has fought his... I should say he fought all night to get into that top 10 there, and it looks like he won't have the finish to show for it here, as some big time damage there for the one. So I believe with that caution when it came on out, I think we might be using a green white checkered here. We'll have to see when it's all said and done. Yeah, definitely Dirty Air has a big factor here tonight, Kenny. And yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought Joe Hudson, one of the few cars still running that inside lane. I mean, Hudson has been around the top 10, top 15 all night long. So maybe he's just been more comfortable down on that bottom side. But yeah, I think if you got new, fresh tires, you got to keep that momentum up as much as you can. Rip that top side, especially down in 1 and 2. As we saw Rob Lowell do that. Looks like Lowell will restart in the 5th position here, so that caution may have been just what he needed. As it looks like quite a few, I should say only a handful of cars down on pit road, probably to get some damage repair. It looks like Dan Holcroft will get the wave around here, and I think Holcroft will now only go to 1 lap down. So with that pit road penalty during green flag stops, that 88 car is still paying the price trying to get back on the lead lap here. As yeah, I totally agree, Kenny, there. No more tire saving from here on out. It's elbows out racing. It's all about trying to make the right move, whether that's a block or a different lane than the car in front of you to get a run. But yeah, like you said, I think if you're on fresh tires, you got to go sail this car to the moon on the high side and just hope it sticks. As yeah, with this caution here tonight, I think this will be our first attempt at a green white checkered. Not sure how many they have, if it's 1 or 3. I mean, I'm sure we'll find out anyways, but here at the stripe, we should get the 1 to go to green. As Anthony once again going to have choose of his lane and what lane he wants to restart in. Last time chose the inside lane. I would have to guess he would choose that again here. And yes, that will be the case. So the 10 car will choose the inside lane here as the field will re-rack, re-stack, and we get ready to turn them on loose for a green-white checkered here at Auto Club. But before we do that, a quick word from our partners over at Premier Setup Charge. So yeah, Kenny, you're right there. And correct in saying that It is a natural green-white checker, so this won't go against the green-white checker counter. So if this field takes a white flag, we are racing back to a checkered. But if we get a caution on this first lap, we will go into our overtimes here tonight as Anthony Calatoni gonna lead the field to the green flag iRacing pace car down off of pit road. And what kind of start can the 10 car get here as the field fires on off and we head to a green-white checkered here at Auto Club. So far dead even on the front row. Can Cody Meadows come out here and steal it? One car sideways, Joe Hudson, a big slide, a big save, and more cars sideways, and somehow we're still green. Holy smokes, and the caution will finally come on out here late. As wow, quite a few cars sideways. Brandon Finley, one of them. Rob Lowell, another. Joe Hudson. Wow, that looked like they were wrecking all through 1 and 2. So now we definitely go into some green-white checkers here. As we will try and take a look here, see what happened in turns 1 and 2 as cars already kind of out of sorts. Looks like Kip Easley already sideways here down the back straightaway. Looks like that is the actual reason for the caution. He will actually tag Jim Ott, who was down and out of the way. So I say let's just go back to the start here. And once again, just go up on the spotter stand and see what happened throughout this field. Like I said, very even start up in front, then all things break loose into turns 1 and 2. Looks like Joe Hudson there lifts Rob Lowell, not expecting that car to check on up as much as he did. Then Rob trying to save that race car does save it. And then I think Kip Easley, Johnny Barker made contact. And yeah, Johnny Barker, I believe, hard into the outside wall. As once again, we're going to take a look here one more time, a little bit slowed on down. As this time we'll keep an eye on the 6 car, because I think the 8 and the 6 were the official cars to bring out the caution. But as we saw before, cars all over the racetrack here with this 21 and the 23 there sideways. Everyone else trying to make evasive maneuvers. And yeah, it looks like 3 wide kind of gone wrong as they had Jim Ott already out of sorts. So let's take a look one more time at the start. See what happened to Ott and I believe the 48 of Brandon Finley. So all sorts of contact all over the track here. I don't think I have a wide enough camera to really look at all this going on. As yeah, we see now, of course, that happens further on back then up towards the front here. Jim Ott, just gets into the left rear of the 48. Nick Larson will get some damage there. And then, yeah, you see Ott there sliding down low. And then, yeah, just all of a sudden a car just slams into the side of him. So now, with all things considered, with a little bit of some re-racking going on, Nick Larson sits the best car with tires, but Larson, I believe, has a little bit of right front damage on the 2 car. Maybe not. It's kind of tough to tell with the paint scheme he has on, but actually right front looks halfway decent for Larson, so Larson might be all right. And then Eli Raposa, he's up now inside the top 5, and he's on some fresh tires as well. Man, oh man. Well, if we thought the last one was pretty crazy, we get to do it all over again here as we get now into our official overtime here at Auto Club. Just like we saw there, if a caution comes out on this first lap, We'll slow down the field here and bring them back under caution. If we get the white flag, we are racing back to the checkered flag. Big time storylines with tonight. Anthony Calatoni here in that 10 car. Won the Riptide Pole Award, led at the halfway point. Can he pick up his first checkered flag and sweep the night for his first ever start? Can Cody Meadows be the first repeat winner this season? He will take over the points lead here, leading Auto Club. He sits in a really good spot. Can Nick Larson pick up his first win here of his season? I think Eli Raposa looking for his first ever 802 win. Man, oh man, it's going to be wild as here we go. Anthony Calatoni going to be in control. He'll fire on off, and we head back to green flag racing with another green-white checkered. Side by side once again for the race lead. Pretty even going into turn number 1. Behind them, Nick Larson didn't get a killer restart, but still trying to hang on to third. Calatoni able to get clear from Meadows. They will race down the back straightaway. Everyone else trying to side draft, trying to keep that momentum rocking and rolling. The field will dive into turns 3 and 4. Calatoni will run the middle. Cody Meadows goes down to the bottom side. Larson will follow Meadows, and this time by, we will see the white flag. One more lap to go. Joe Hudson will spin the 23 machine down on pit road. We will stay green because we got the white flag. We are racing back to the checkered. Calatoni here through 1 and 2 for the final time here tonight. He sits in a pretty good spot here. Just has to hope that the 19 doesn't get a big run. Looks like that would not be the case. Further on back, 3 wide, beating and banging down the backstretch for the final time here. Johnny Barker down low, will sail in there deep, try and get clear of those other 2 cars. Up in front, Cody Meadows will try and get a run. Won't quite be enough. And Anthony Calatoni will sweep the night here at Auto Club. Cody Meadows will finish second. Nick Larson will round out the podium. And one car will finish backwards across the stripe. That is a 62 machine of Frank Zingen. So not sure what happened to Frank there at the end, but we'll try and get a quick visual if we can. 3 wide racing behind him. And then it looks like maybe Jim Ott will try and get to the right rear of the 62. That will hook him against the fence, and that will slow down both of them and cause them both to lose quite a few positions. But out here at the start-finish line, Anthony Calatoni will burn it on down for his first career win here with the 802. As it looks like he might get that car a little bit stuck there on the bank and able to get it rocking and rolling. But Anthony Calatoni gonna celebrate here down on the front straightaway. Gonna burn it on down, and don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back here for our post-race show here at Auto Club.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we come back here to Auto Club Speedway, and our first driver we'll be talking to here in the post-race show is our third place finisher, that being the number 2 machine of Nick Larson. Nick, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here. Hey, Nick, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, Brett, I got you.
Alrighty, man. We got you as well. So first and foremost, man, how we feeling after 100 plus laps here at Auto Club?
Not too bad. Too bad.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, that thing was hectic. And then add on top of it some green-white checkers. Whew.
Yeah, I just squeezed by that last one there.
Yeah, and I mean that last one, what did you see? I mean, cars spinning to your inside right in front of you as well with Brandon Finley. It looked like to me you got a piece of him. Did you actually make contact, and was your car damaged at all from that?
No.
Wow.
No, I'm not sure if I come because he got loose off the corner, and I seen him tag the wall, and I just tried going on the inside of him. I didn't get clipped by him, but I was just hanging on. I was just praying that I wasn't gonna get clipped from either inside or outside.
Yeah, man, and luckily you were able to drive through there, and then on the following restart third, and you had to be stressing a little because you had some big time pressure. It seemed like that final green white checkered.
Oh yeah, for sure. I wasn't trying to race in my mirror, but I mean it's hard not to. It's a green white checker, but I was just trying to just run my lines and keep it clean. Couple laps.
Yep, and that's what you're able to do, my man, up here on the podium. And I tell you what, finally a good finish here this season. I mean, Rockingham, I was trying to see where you ended up, just outside of the top 10. So to rebound here tonight up on the podium, man, that's got to feel pretty good and for sure help that point situation, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, Rockingham, I was running pretty good, top 5. And then I just made a mistake and overdrove I think it was turn 2, and I tagged the wall. And
Yeah, and that place definitely very, very easy to do. That place kind of begs you to overdrive each and every corner, right?
yeah, yep.
Yeah, and this track, another one like that. I mean, especially if you're ripping the fence, it's so easy to overstep, get that wall. We saw this 2-car here quite a few times ripping that fence pretty well here tonight. How comfortable were you feeling around Auto Club Speedway here?
Pretty comfortable actually. Yeah. I know I could get a run off of 2 if the guys were running the low line. So then I would kind of come off the 2, get a good run, and then I dive to the inside of them. That was working pretty well for.
Yeah, that it looked like it was, and you're able to use that here tonight. I mean, you drove on up, it seemed like a couple times here tonight, up into the top 5, and then to finish in there, man, that's got to feel pretty good to have a race come fully together like it did tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm just hoping this luck keeps up. on here.
Yeah, for sure, man. And next week we head to New Hampshire. I know people either love that place or hate that place. How do you feel about New Hampshire next week?
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't run a whole lot there, so we'll find out this week when I practice with the Wolfpack.
Yeah, for sure, man. And yeah, overall, man, a great night for you. And one thing I always like to ask a driver and kind of get their input, especially in the sim world, is what kind of equipment do you got in front of you in today's day and age? What do you got for, wheel pedals? What are you looking at screen wise or VR, all that good stuff, Nick?
Oh yeah, I got a Moza R9 direct drive. I got the Fanatec V3 pedals, 49 curved monitor. Wow.
Nice. Yeah, I think during the monitor part you were breaking up a little bit, but I heard a 49-inch curved monitor. Is that correct?
Yeah, yep. It's just like the Samsung, but just pretty much like a knockoff.
Yeah, and I've heard pretty good things about curved monitors. And one thing I kind of noticed is a lot of real life drivers don't go triple screens and would rather go the curved monitor route. How do you like yours?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's a game changer. I went from a 32 last year to this. Yeah, see a lot.
Yeah, and
Definitely kept me out of trouble.
yeah, I was just about to say that, Nick. I'm sure that monitor helps a lot, especially in close quarters racing, to kind of get a little bit more indication of where cars are at on both your left and right side, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty, well, awesome stuff here, Nick. Here tonight, my man, you had a great run here, able to walk away up on the podium. So before we let you go and celebrate this P number 3, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you like to give a shout out to on the broadcast here.
Yeah, for sure the sponsor of the league, BG Graphix, GStone Motors, 802 iRacing, Riptide Radio, guys on Wolfpack. Actually practice with them every week, and they just make me better. As big thank Rob, Eli, all the guys.
Alrighty, well, awesome stuff here, Nick. Well, once again, my man, congrats on the P number 3. And I'm sure, man, you put some races together like you did tonight. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again because that 2 car seems like he always has some good speed wherever you head to.
Yep. Hopefully, I'll definitely be talking to you more frequently this season.
All right, awesome stuff for sure, Nick. Well, you, my man, have a great rest of the night and you take care.
Thanks, Brett. You too. Thanks you for doing the broadcast.
Yep, no problem, man. Thank you for being part of the race in action and putting on the show that all of us too can enjoy here. Alrighty, folks. So that was our 3rd place finisher, Nick Larson. Now we'll head up to our runner-up finisher, that being the 19 machine of Cody Meadows. Cody, you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, man. First and foremost, how we feeling after over 100 laps here at Auto Club?
I feel like I could have chased down to 10, but however, I just couldn't find nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's ups and downs again. Gotta love it. But going in, and I knew I did a little bit of research before tonight, just to figure out what I need to be looking for and doing, and what I came up with in the end. It worked how I thought it was gonna work. However, there at the end, I could not find anything left for it. So coming home with a second. So I got the tree, and now I just gotta go on with the rest of the season.
Yeah, man, and I tell you what, up on the podium yet another time here, Cody. You're able to do that, of course, at Daytona with the win, then a P number 3 at the Rock last week. Here tonight, a P number 2. So you finished every spot on the podium that you can so far this season in the first 3 races.
Yeah, I didn't expect this, but I can't complain. So I'm gonna give it my all to take this 19 to the championship. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But I'm fighting what 40 other guys. So I mean, a lot of races left, a lot of season to go. So trying not to think about it too much, just taking a race at a time.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's definitely the right mentality. And I know you probably don't want to hear this from me, but Cody, leaving tonight here at Auto Club with this good finish, you walk away as the points leader.
Oh boy, the pressure.
Exactly. No pressure, right?
None at all.
Yeah, and with that pressure, next week we head to New Hampshire. I know a lot of people either love that place or hate that place. How do you feel about New Hampshire next week?
Well, it's a track, that's for sure. Um, Only thing I got going for me, I run another league on Saturdays, and lo and behold, New Hampshire was my first win in that league. So, hoping to have the same luck here. No idea how that's gonna go. Short tracks are on. You really can't think about them too much. Same goes for super speedways. It's either you walk in and walk out happy or angry. It's one of the two.
Yeah, that is for sure the case here. And yeah, Cody, I tell you what, I think you have a pretty good shot, especially you already picking up a checkered flag there at New Hampshire. That's a good sign. As well as here tonight, you had to battle some big time adversity. Started almost outside the top 20 and able to battle your way through this field. How tough was it to get around cars here?
Um, really? Uh, in one instance, yeah, it was pretty tough. I mean, it's sort of like pack racing, except you're at a mile and a half. So I mean, you got that tire wear to fight. And however, it's the one lane. That top lane, once you get it going, I mean, you're unstoppable. I mean, look what happened with me in the 10. Once he got up there, I tried my best to get up and get beside him, but it's too dominant up there. The only bad thing about it is it burns your tires up, so that's why you see me running the bottom most of the race today.
Yeah, that definitely seemed to be the case. The top side was where is at if you wanted to make some moves. And Cody, yeah, you made a lot of moves here tonight. And I got to ask, how were you feeling about the decision not to come down pit road on the lap 88 caution?
Uh, I How I did the race, I divided it into four. So 25, 25, 25, and I already used up all my tires. So at the point, there was nothing I could do. It's just hope and pray I can stick it where it needs to be and give it, the rest.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, no, I guess that worked out for you not to have any more tire sets because when it was all said and done, my man, able to finish P number 2 here and walk away with the points lead. So yeah, Cody, once again, congrats on the runner-up finish here tonight at Auto Club before we let you go and celebrate this P number 2 as well as the championship lead. We're going to go, of course, hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you like to give a shout out to on the broadcast.
For sure, all my teammates that I got going on for me here. Big thanks to Rob and 802 for giving me another league to run in. I mean, this is one of my better leagues I've ever been a part of. I mean, there's really not much trouble that goes on here. Everybody at turn 3, you for sitting in the broadcast booth, um, mom, dad, folks for again the money and everything to get my setup and everything able to run this. Uh, Bella, Nikki, Scooby, Sarah, um, Ari, couldn't live without you guys. And another fantastic group. Uh, Puff, Rachel, Jordan, Stitch, Bean, DJ, Chris, I'm probably gonna forget some, and they're gonna hate me. um, you guys are. I cannot live without you guys. Having friends like you guys to take the time and come out and watch these races. I know it's like oh I'm the controversy with this statement. I know it's a game, a simulator, but it means a lot when I put everything into this stuff and for y'all to come out and watch and enjoy and be there for me and taking one step at a time with everything. Love you guys, love everything that I got going on here.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Well, Cody, once again, congrats on the P number 2 here tonight. And you, my man, have a great rest of your week. And we'll catch you in 1 week's time at New Hampshire. And at this rate, man, we'll be talking to you again, right?
Alright, yep. Hopefully. You guys got a flip side though.
Yep, for sure, Cody. You take care. So that was our runner-up finisher, the 19 machine of Cody Meadows. Now we'll head down to Victory Lane and talk to the man of the hour. It is the 10 car of Anthony Calatoni. Anthony, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Hey, how are you doing tonight?
Pretty good, man. How about yourself? How are we feeling at 100+ laps here at Auto Club?
My foot hurts. But no, we're feeling pretty good. Just joined the league tonight, and I wasn't expecting the debut to go this well. Yeah, I mean, I guess it was a good night.
Yeah, I tell you what, I don't think it could have gone much better for you because, yeah, we pinned it right from the start that this was your first ever start here in the league, and you started things off probably the best way you could, coming out here and picking up the Riptide Pole Award, and then not only that, you pick up the checkered flag, man. I mean, is Auto Club just one of your favorite tracks, or how were you able to put it all together here?
Funny you say that. Auto Club is actually one of my worst tracks, and I hate it the most. I always say I wish they would fill it and make a fishing pond out of it, but just I guess in the other leagues I run, I just kind of put all the knowledge and things you learn, coming racing there all the time, and each year you just kind of keep learning. Um, you just put it together, and it finally came together. Just in a new league.
Yeah, and I tell you what an impact you made right from the start here. And yeah, you're right there because, man, it all came together for you well. I mean, this race had a little bit of everything, cautions at the beginning. We saw you come down, keep on filling up that race car. Then 2 rounds of green flag pit stops at that second round. That got you the race lead, which ultimately led you to starting the race from the lead there on those green white checkers. Man, that was awesome to see there. And I think we got to start back, with the earlier stuff. Green flag pit stops. How were you able to get on and off pit road so well that you're able to put a 2-second gap between you and Brandon?
Well, I saw on the final green flag stop. I kind of girled out on the first one though. I kind of came in a little soft and I didn't drive it in as hard. I forgot to set my brake buys. I was afraid of the car spinning out, so I kind of took it a little easier than what I did. But um, once I saw Cody pit for that last round of green flag stops, I started thinking, I'm like, how long is it until the 48's going to pit? And I know just from running, this car for the last 2 years on how important clean air is. I wanted to try and leapfrog the 48 so bad. So I waited, I think it was like a lap or two after that. And then when I took my shot there to kind of surprise, I guess, the 48 and pitting. And that, I think I was no more than 7/10 behind them. And I was shocked. I was shocked to see that it was almost 3 seconds when I came out. And then I was just hoping for it to stay green because I knew they weren't going to catch me. But I think someone had trouble. They may have hit the wall. They said they didn't have any steering, which it is what it is. but we held them off.
Yeah, with that car causing that caution there on lap 88 without the steering, did you have any tire sets left over there, or was the call always made up for you to stay on out?
I was yeah we I had nothing left in the pits, so I was sleeping in the bed right there, and what was going to happen was going to happen. I know a couple guys there took their last sets they were hiding uh, there, and I'm not going to say that I wasn't completely not phased by that. It was in the back of my head, but I knew that it was going to be difficult for them to try and get through all of them cars with how crucial clean air and how bad dirty air is. But that, that was all. That was the only thing on my mind. Them last couple of restarts was don't let the 19 get in front of you, and he gave me a hell of a fight. Let me tell you, it was a blast.
Yeah, it looked like a blast because we most of the restarts we saw the leader jump out in front. Both of your restarts during those green white checkers, you and Cody were about even going into turn number one. That had to be a little bit stressful for you there, and I'm sure to do it twice, you're like, man, can this race just get over with?
Absolutely. When especially when he was hugging the door there on that last restart on the first green white checker, and I knew what he was doing, and it's completely fair, and it would have been fine. I wouldn't have been mad, but once I said to myself, I'm gonna drive down into one. I'm gonna wait for it, and when I get back to it, I hope it sticks. I hope that I'm in front of him because I, I wasn't gonna listen until we touched. But luckily, the tires stuck, and we uh, we drove in front of him, and it was game over after that.
Yeah, that it was. Once you got to that clean air, it seemed like Anthony here tonight, you were the car to beat. And once again, man, congrats on the win here. And hopefully we'll be seeing you some more here. Is that the plan from here on out?
I think you'll be seeing me for a while. I enjoyed the league. I enjoyed the guys I was racing around. They seemed very respectful. Um, I'm not going to be lying, and if there was a couple questionable things that happened, but that's racing. That's a part of it. But yeah,
Yeah, man, we hope to see you some more out on track here because, yeah, it seems like you could be one of those competitors that are always challenging for a win, like we see so many guys here in this league. And Anthony, I always like to get a little bit of insight from sim racers, and kind of see what people are using in today's day and age. So, what do you got sitting there in front of you to pick up this win here for like a wheel pedals? What are you looking at? All that good stuff.
well, I race on a 49-inch curved monitor, and I got a Thrustmaster wheel and pedal combo. So that's about it.
Yep, nice man, and that goes to show, right? You don't need these thousands and thousands of dollars sim setup. One, to have fun and go out here and race, and two, to go out here and chase some checkered flags, right?
Absolutely not. If it works, it works, and she's she's worked.
Yep, for sure, man. Well, you go 1 for 1 in the 802 league. So once again, Anthony, congrats on that. Before we let you go and celebrate down in victory lane, we're of course going to hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you like to give a shout out to on the broadcast here.
All right, so my primary sponsor is not what you saw tonight. My actual primary sponsor is the podcast. The car, I just have to change my card around because my number is not 10. My normal number is usually 84, but I saw someone took it. But I have to thank my Talking Giants podcast. They're a John Boy Media company out of New York. I gotta thank the Rebuilding Warriors program. Those are all my sponsors that are with me. Um, I guess happy for Michelob that I drank so refreshingly to find today. Um, I got to thank the 802 guys for letting me come in tonight. Looking forward to that little friendship here. Um, I'm going to have to read off here because I don't know their sponsors. I'm going to have to thank you for the broadcast, and BG Graphics, it looks like, is one of their sponsors. So we're going to have to learn their sponsors. If I missed anyone, I apologize, but appreciate everyone's support. Appreciate the league for putting the racing on, and giving me something to do on a Sunday night now. So we look forward to what's next week, New Hampshire. Ooh, I like New Hampshire. So we're looking forward to next week in New Hampshire, and see if we can go 2 for 2.
Yeah, man, that would be exciting to watch. And thank you, Anthony, for being part of the show that all of us get to enjoy and running out here with the 802 guys. So, Anthony, you, my man, go celebrate this win. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here in the future.
All right. Thank you, Brett. And we'll see you next week.
All righty. Awesome stuff. That was Anthony Calatoni down in Victory Lane, picking up his first career win in his first ever start. Man, pretty impressive stuff there from the number 10, but let's head on through, go through tonight's race results and get things rocking and rolling. First and foremost, got to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning on in here, whether live or replay. Of course, we got to give a shout out to all the league sponsors, that being BG Graphix, Riptide Radio, GStone Motorsports, as well as Stone, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. So here is tonight's race results for the SoCal Showdown 200 at Auto Club. Anthony Calatoni will pick up the win. Cody Meadows will finish P number 2 and leave tonight with the points lead. Nick Larson will pick up his first podium of the season and will finish P number 3. Brandon Finley was a race winner contender all night long. He will finish 4th. And how about this? Eli Raposa will finish in the top 5. He will pick up P number 5. Mike Pardusky will finish 6th. Rob Lowell will finish in P number 7. Johnny Barker will bring it home 8th. Joey Gattana will finish 9th. And Dan Holcroft will finally get back on the lead lap there late and finish inside the top 10. Jim Ott will finish 11th. 12th going to Brandon Guerin. 13th is Frank Zingen. 14th going to Kip Easley. 15th is Joe Hudson. Finishing in 16th was Tanner White. 17th going to Reba Caton. 18th is Steve Ritter. Finishing in 19th was Cody Brewer. 20th going to Chris Proger. 21st is Dustin Coggin. 22nd is Ron Holyfield. 23rd, John Buell. 24th, John Higman. And Jeff Pogo will finish 25th here tonight. So that'll do it here tonight. Turn 3 Racing Network is partnered with Premier Setup Shops. You can check them out with the link in the description. Even if you don't buy anything, a click will go the long way and show our support towards them as they support us. So that will do it here tonight. Be sure to tune in next Sunday night at 7:05 p.m. for race number 4, as these guys will take on New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Should be another good one. So that will do it here for me. I've been Brett the Jet in the booth with Turn 3 Racing Network. Everyone take care, stay safe, have a great rest of your week, and we will catch you in 1 week's time. So I've been Brett the Jet in the booth, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.